I'm Fiera Luna, and I play games on the internet. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by, and if you've been here before, welcome back. Today, we're playing Ace Attorney Investigations. We're Edgeworth today. How's Beautiful? We know what we're about. Now, for those of you that might have forgotten, our friendly fellow here, he is more clever. Francisca hasn't worked out what he's doing, but I have. He knows that he needs to get into Alabas embassy one more time, because I think he knows who our killer probably is. And he wants to investigate, but he can't because that guy was like, no, don't go in there. So he was like, I think I know who did it. And that guy was like, who? Mopping the sweat from his brow because Ambassador Alba is secretly stronger than you think he is. I think anyway. And so he's like, Francisca von Karma. And Ambassador Alba's just like, oh, good. It's true, we do. Well, we don't really. But I, outside of the game, have pretty much figured this out. They are delicious. First we had crepes, and now I've got Doritos Collision. It is a collision of intense pickle and Cool Ranch. I don't have any Mountain Dew, but I think maybe Doritos and Mountain Dew makes you a gamer. Anyway, Lang's argument is Francisca is one of the few people who could smuggle weapons back and forth. Do you ever just feel oddly lonely for some reason? Yeah, I'm the only octopus like me. Only one on the surface. Well, no, that's not entirely true. We found another, but I'm the only one stuck in my aquarium. Okay. Right, so Lang is arguing that Francisca's the only one who could move stuff around. One of Alabast's knives was used in Babal to murder Mr. Cochin. And the murder weapon in the killing of Damask II is Babal's Primaduck statue. Somehow, these two objects were able to penetrate the two countries' impenetrable security. The only one who traversed the two countries just before and after the crimes was you, Francisca. So as long as I can't explain how the weapons moved about, Francisca will remain a suspect? You got it, Mr. Prosecutor. So why don't you stop giving me a hard time? Under these circumstances, who the heck can carry a weapon across country lines? I've worked through every possibility, but there's only one that's plausible. Your boss. Agent Lang, what I've learned from you just now is that you've lost sight of yourself. Well, what are you talking about? By focusing too intently on that which is in front of us, we become blind to the truth. Don't tell me Langji never said anything to that effect. You prosecutor. Who do you think you are speaking about Langji's proverbs like that? I don't need his proverbs. Because my words are all you'll need to see the truth. Edgeworth! Edgeworth rolled out here to be like, yeah, lol. Oh no. That's true. There is nothing about that is untrue. That's also true. There's nothing untrue about that. Like, we already know this stuff. Impenetrable? I should hardly think so. You've seen the top of the wall between the two countries, right? Who in the world could cross over that?
Yeah, not even I could climb over that thing with all that barbed wire.
The only way into either embassy is through the doors in the Theatrum Neutralis.
I don't think that's true.
I think that pond connects somewhere. So the only way the knife and the Primadux statue... For the knife and the Primadux statue to traverse the two countries is through those security camera-equipped, well-guarded doors.
Well, wait. But wouldn't the other statue also have to move, though? Because, like, okay. So, each of these embassies has one statue, and they were swapped, right? But he's talking about this. Do you think that's... I mean, it's not right anyway. I think that's what we need here. I think we need Babal's statue. Wait, which statue was it that was the murder weapon? I think it's this one. Right? Objection! Whatever. Maybe it's either statue.
Agent Lang, those two items are not the only two to cross the border tonight. Oh? Damask II was killed with Babal's Primadux statue, yes. But if that's the case, then tell me, where did Alabast's Primadux statue go?
To Babal!
Precisely. And if the two statues really were switched, then this means that both statues were smuggled across the border at some point. Which means that a total of 3 items were smuggled across to the embassies. I guess so. But you know what? It doesn't matter the number of items, only that Sis is the only one who could have done it. Because the only person who went back and forth between Alabast and Babal is her. Was that really true? Was there no one else who traveled between the two countries?
You did.
Actually, there was definitely another person, one who paid a visit to both sides of the wall.
Oh, the Yatagarasu! Thank you, the game!
Is that really so, Agent Lang?
What a lousy time to bluff your way out of this! Well, I checked out what the guard said along with the security camera footage. You're not gonna overturn my hypothesis that easily.
But suppose there was some other way other than through the theater doors.
What other way?
The other entity that managed to cross the border unharmed. If I pointed out, it would open up a whole new possibility. And, though I hesitate to bring this out, as long as this entity exists, the impossible road becomes a possibility.
Looks like you've got some clever idea in mind.
I do, and I can show it to you through a single piece of evidence.
Fine, then. Let's see this piece of evidence that'll show me this other route. Oh, Sheena's not here, so he's off, the way the composition goes. He's off balance.
This piece of evidence will show us another way to move between the two countries.
Where's that picture of the Yatagarasu flying? Wrong thing. Ba-dong!
Agent Lang, I'm sure you're familiar with this unforgettable photo.
That supernatural photo? Like I said before. Humans can't fly.
No, of course not. I understand that perfectly well.
And don't start claiming that Sheena somehow grew wings either.
I wouldn't dream of claiming that.
And I won't allow you to take back what you've said either. I'll say it again. It's not humanly possible to fly through the air without wings. So you'd better have a good explanation for this, Mr. Prosecutor. Zipline! Remember what we found in the clock, you guys? We found wire in the clock, and on the plants. The plants were disturbed. Remember? And I think we found the sticks outside. I think they ziplined it over. Edgeworth, don't worry, honey. I've got a good explanation.
But how can I prove who it was that flew through the air in this photo? Wait, not humanly possible. Eureka! Very well. You will have your explanation. Sounds like you have a good idea simmering inside that head of yours. Let's hear it. The face hidden within this photo's blurry trailed shadow is...
Oh, it's the statue itself, I bet. But the other one.
I think he ziplined it over. Naturally, the shadow is the third smuggled object, the Prima Duck statue replica. You can't be serious! The Yatagarasu, or rather Callisto Yu, dressed as Agent Shina, was inside Babal. She dressed the replica statue up in clothes and launched it through the air. Ha! Mr. Prosecutor! You left out a very crucial bit in your explanation. I know I did. She launched it through the air? Ha! And how exactly did she do that? He is literally baring his fangs at me. But he has a point. How exactly did it move through the air like that? As long as this remains unsolved, we won't be able to move any closer to the truth. Which reminds me, didn't he say this earlier? Hey sis, I remember that just before Ambassador Alba went to give his speech, he called you into his office, right? So just before the murder, Francisca was called here, right into this very room. If that's the case, then that may be another avenue I can pursue. Agent Lang, in order for me to answer that question, I will need to hear testimony from Ms. Von Karma. Oh, what are you up to now, pretty boy?
Oh, he called me pretty. He called us pretty.
Earlier, you mentioned something of interest to me. You said that just before the murder occurred, Ms. Von Karma had been in this room because Ambassador Alba had called for her. And for that reason alone, you believe her to be the killer.
He is a pretty boy. It's true. He's very pretty. I don't know if you guys have seen Edgeworth. Have you seen him? He's pretty. I like him. Listen, there are a lot of humans that I'm like, wow. I have a sense of what human beauty's looks like. Maybe not the same sense as all humans, but I do have a sense for it.
In that case, I believe it is my duty to ask her what her side of the story is. Ha! Do you really think a criminal would tell us the honest truth?
How dare you! As I've said numerous times, there is absolutely no proofs that I am the killer. Miles Edgeworth, don't tell me you suspect me too!
I don't. However, I can't ignore the fact that you were in this room at one point in time. Which is why I would like to hear about it from you. Francisca, I feel that I still don't have enough information. Which is why your testimony is incredibly important to the outcome of this case.
Alright. So, what would you like me to talk about?
I'd like you to please testify to your movements up until you came into this room. Huh. Alright, let's try this your way for a change. But if what she has to say turns out to be a waste of time, I'll place her under arrest faster than you can howl, "No!" As you wish.
As I said earlier, I was assigned to guard duty in this Alabastian embassy. After I saw the Steel Samurai off on his way towards the ambassador's office, I returned to the Rose Garden for a bit and checked up on the security situation. After all the preparations were in place, I was called back by Ambassador Alba to his office.
I must know.
Beepy beepy. Is that because you've had a very busy day? That's a very busy job. I have to add like homemaker or something to that. Because in the space future, they do believe that being a parent is a job. Well, we can deal with Edgeworth instead. That most beautiful man. Mm. Yeah. Oh. I don't know if it'll excite you guys. I'm gonna try to use a new program to show you guys what my face, that face there, my octopus face, my little model, because there's a program that you can use if you know how that'll let me use another program that is attached to it so that you guys can throw stuff at me. It's the one that people use that makes like things show up on the screen, like the emotes, and it makes you can throw things at the VTuber. And yes, you can throw shrimpies. I'll draw shrimpies for you to throw at me. I'll make them beautiful. I would love shrimpies to be thrown at me. Aquarium Staff says I also have to pick things that I would not like to be thrown at me for when I do a bad job. I don't know what those will be. Anyway, I can't promise that I'll be able to do this because I'm not very good at things. Buttons! I'll make button jars for you to throw at me. I already have that picture.
Francisca, I want us to make this clear from the very beginning. So what I wish to confirm is that the only time span in which you were in this office was before the murder occurred. Is that correct?
Yes, of course.
I see. For now, the only way I can see for us to break out of this situation is to ask Francisca about her testimony in more detail.
Button jar, why would you do this to me?
That's true. That is not something I care about to press. I'd like to know what the rose garden was like, though. I want to know how the pool was. Why did you need to confirm the degree of preparation even at the speech?
For security's sake, of course. What other reason could I have had? Melva knew just how Zyatagarasu had planned on getting in, right?
Well, I suppose you're right.
And in the end, Zyatagarasu did choose to appear in the rose garden, even if it did turn out to be nothing more than a shadow. Ugh. Who would have thought that she would use a shadow?
Ah! Calm down, Francisca! She must still be nursing a grudge over the fact that she couldn't figure it out herself.
Humph. Anyway, there was no one in the rose garden, and we were aware that the speech was set to start soon thereafter. After all the preparations were in place, I was called back to by Ambassador Alba to his office. What were you doing in there? What'd you do? Did you have fun? Oh.
At that time, Damask II's body had yet to be found in this room, is that correct?
That's right. But Ambassador Alba was here. One could hardly miss his rather large presence.
Humph! A criminal will say anything to get out of getting arrested. How do we know you're not lying?
Lang's voice is really difficult, did you know? Oh no, we hydrated as chat demands! Hi! Mm. Well, apparently we needed a lot more hydration than I thought. I guess it's because I'm eating chips. I've been working all day on secrets. They're presents for other people.
How do we know you're not lying?
Well, if you need proof, I'd be happy to oblige you.
Seriously?
Like I keep telling you. When I arrived at this office, Ambassador Alba was already here. He was standing by the flower box on the windowsill, watering his plants. Oh no, I forgot I'd have to do his accent.
Oi, okay. Oh, I can attest to that. Oh, I remember speaking with a lovely lady around that time here in me office. Alright then. Add that statement to your testimony, and let's hear some details. So Ambassador Alba was in this room at the time, was he?
When I arrived, Ambassador Alba was watering the flowers on the windowsill.
Hold it!
For the sake of being thorough, I'd like to ask you something. How did you know that Ambassador Alba was watering his plants at the windowsill?
What do you mean by that?
The entrance to this room is on this side. However, the window is on the opposite side. If what you say is true, then when you entered the room, his body would have been like a wall. He would have been blocking your view of what he was doing. Is that not correct?
I suppose it was a bit hard to see around him. But fortunately for me, Ambassador Alba is not an immovable wall. I knocked before I entered, and as I did, he turned around to greet me, with a watering can in his hand. So it's only natural to believe that he was watering his plants, right?
I suppose.
After his greeting, we spent a little time talking about his flowers. He had obtained them himself, and is growing them with the utmost care, you know.
Yes. Oh, the plants in this room. Oi, oi. The plants.
We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll find vocal position.
Like me own children.
The plants in this room. I had it for a second.
We love me plants. The plants in this room, they're all like my children.
The passion flowers in this flower box. Wow. The passion flowers in this flower box on the windowsill are growing beautifully too. All 4 of them are in full bloom.
Miss Von Karma, what did you say just now?
I said that the flowers are growing beautifully. What about that statement do you not understand? Oh, you should draw something? A picture. Oh no, that's not right. Cosmo with the hammer, the Guild Wars 2 hammer. Cosmo with the Cosmo hammer. Yeah, I'm good at this. What about that statement do you not understand?
What do I not understand? I do not understand why a certain thing is the way it is. I'd like for you to append that statement to your testimony.
Very well. There were 4 large passion flowers in full bloom in the flower box. I think I can present on this, because remember, there were only 2.
Objection!
Francisca.
It's easier to fall into the one accent when you don't have to go through, like, 2 or 3.
For some odd reason, your testimony contradicts with this piece of evidence.
It does appear that way.
Ha! I knew it! I knew we couldn't trust your words, sis.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you doing discrediting Miss Von Karma like this? Yeah, sir. If you keep this up, she's gonna get taken away, sir. Yeet. All I've done is state what I saw. I have not made a single mistake in my testimony, and for this, I'm still under suspicion for murder. Is the number of flowers really all that important at this juncture, Miles?
At the very least, it is a contradiction in this enigmatic case, one that I find hard to dismiss as irrelevant. Ha! Then let's hear it, Mr. Prosecutor. What does the number of flowers have to do with anything? What does it prove? I believe the answer to that will become clear if we were to examine the flower box. How did this contradiction come about? There must be something behind this discrepancy. Why, they're my beloved flowers. I've grown them with all the utmost care. So I ask that you please be gentle with them as long as you examine them, Mr. Edgeworth. I understand. They're very pretty. The name of these flowers, I believe they're called passion flowers. Despite being called flowers, they are actually a species of vine. They appear to be growing well and are well supported by these plant supports. Yeah, but no matter how you look at it, it's like looks like there are only two here to me. You realize, don't you, sis? Your little lie has failed you?
Ugh. Miles Edgeworth! Hurry up and shut this man up for me already.
I suppose I will need to use some evidence to shut him up, won't I?
I think I have the evidence I need here.
We have the hair sticks. I believe I have just the piece of evidence you require. Oh, you do? You have such confidence in the face of your current plight, but I highly doubt it'll last until the end. You howl like a wolf, Agent Lang, but we'll see if you have any bite to back up that bark after you see the evidence. The truth the passion flowers will reveal can be easily seen in this piece of evidence.
Sure hope it's these.
Take that!
Sheena, who was supposedly in Babal the entire time, had these hair sticks on her. They look exactly like the plant supports in this flower box. In other words, I believe it can be said that these hair sticks are in actuality support sticks for the passion flowers. Ha! And so what? Is this really all that important to the case? Of course it is. It means that we found yet another item that was smuggled between the countries tonight.
Yeah!
Think about it logically, Agent Lang. These sticks were originally in Alabast, but somehow they wound up in Sheena's hands, who was in Babal the whole night. So make no mistake, these sticks were smuggled somehow, just like the knife in the statue. Humph. Very well then. I want to hear from you exactly how they wound up in Babal.
You have to be careful with other people's prized possessions. It's true. You've got to be very careful with them. Otherwise, they could end up broken, and then that person will be very angry with you, and very distressed. Source! Me! I've had things of mine broken, and I was highly displeased and very distressed. Luckily, it was fixable. One time I had me broken, and it was fixable, though. Aquarium staff helped. They were like, it's not broken, you don't have bones, you can't break things. But it is torn. And I went, oh.
And they went, yeah, you stretched a little too far and you tore a muscle.
And I went, oh. Can I untear it?
And they went with rest.
And I went, oh, okay. And that's what happened.
How did these support sticks find their way to Babel and why? There must be some reason why they ended up there. Aha! So that's why. Agent Lang, if you would please take a look at this and tell me its shape. Huh! Just another stick, isn't it? So it is. But the shape of the support sticks is what's important. For when they're used with something in this room, that's when it all comes into focus. And the object that completes the picture when used with the support sticks is...
Oh!
That's a crossbow! Wait, you're not really suggesting! I am. These hair sticks, or rather plant support sticks, they make for perfect arrows.
No, they don't.
I've done it. I found the common thread that connects the two offices. But this thread has yet to be completely untangled. Even using the arrows, how does this explain how the statues were transported?
Zip line!
Furthermore, who could it have been who fired these sticks as arrows? There must be a common thread to tie all of these things together.
It's literal.
Mr. Prosecutor, hold up a second. You do realize what happens when you tie a statue to an arrow, right? They don't fly at all.
Yeah, I don't think they did. I don't think it did. I'm still on my zip line. Still on my zip line business. It was me. Oh no, Chad, it was you.
Subabal's statue was draped in the Yatagarasu's clothes and then shot over here. Even if you fired the arrows from this side, they wouldn't go far with a statue tied to them. I don't think I need to tell you that the Prima Duck statues didn't sprout wings. You're a realist after all, aren't you? The Prima Duck statues didn't sprout wings? Humph, of course they didn't. Glad you understand. I feel much better already. Was afraid for a second that you were unaware of that crucial fact. It's only crucial because you're under the belief that wings are necessary to this equation. What? You need to free your mind a bit more and let it fly like a bird on the wind. The Prima Duck statues flew, but not on a wing. Allow me a bit of your time and I'll explain this mysterious phenomenon to you.
Edgeworth!
Hold it!
Tell me about it, sir.
But that incredible scene just happened to have been caught on film, resulting in this photo. Ha! And what an incredible scene it was. This photo was taken by that freelance photojournalist, right? Yes, so I hear. And not every photojournalist is known to be honest, right? Especially not the ones that sell photos of spirits and giant creatures to tabloids. Yes, I know what you mean. I've seen those sorts of photos many times in court. But there have been times when those photos have turned out to be telling the truth. If you had ever stood in a court of law, you would know that it's entirely plausible. Ha! You really believe the stuff you're spewing right now? The courtroom is certainly is a strange place, if what you say is true. But there really is something odd about that photo, no matter how you look at it. Even if you fired the arrows from this side, they wouldn't go far with a statue tied to them. I don't think that's what tied to them. But we are in agreement that an arrow by itself would reach the other side, correct? But just the arrow by itself is pretty meaningless, don't you think, Mr. Prosecutor? Because the things they wanted to smuggle were a lot bigger than nothing. No, that's not necessarily true. What? What I need right now is not further discussion of my conclusions. It's the launching of my conclusions. What the shooter wanted to launch with the crossbow was not the statues themselves, but rather something a crossbow can launch that can be used to move the statues. If it wasn't a statue that was tied to those arrows, then what did the crossbow launch? I know exactly what it launched. I'm still on my zip tie business, you guys.
Objection!
Zip tie. I said zip tie. Zip line. I mean zip line. Oh. Tasty. Oh. I'm sorry about Art Block. Do you want to build a snowman? Or the Guild Wars 2 equivalent, where we're beating up Freezy. Do you want to punch a snowman till he remembers how to love? Dwayne is not here anymore. Oh, I'll have to work on that one, actually. I think I kind of like that.
Finally. Finally, we've reached this point in our discussion. For I present to you that which was carried by the arrow from the crossbow.
Yeah, I got company for you. I will absolutely be jumping the jumping puzzle, but I got you covered.
Heh, I get it now, Mr. Prosecutor. I can see exactly what you're trying to say. You're saying that the wire was tied to the arrow and then shot into Mr. Cochin's office.
Oh, and it is on the 3rd floor, so the arrow drop wouldn't even be a problem.
All the way from the 5th floor of the Alabastian Embassy down to the 3rd floor of the Babylese Embassy. If what you're claiming is really what happened, I can see how Alabast's Prima Duck statue could be moved. Gravity could be used to move the statue down the wire from the 5th to the 3rd floor. But then, what about Babal's Prima Duck statue? The dark shadow in this photo is clearly flying away from Babal, going in the opposite way of gravity from the 3rd floor of the Babylese Embassy up to the 5th floor of the Alabastian Embassy. How do you explain that? Aha. I think I finally see how the gears behind this whole trick work. Agent Lang, the motion used behind this trick. I wonder if perhaps you've yet to envision how it works in your head. Motion? What motion?
Well, they didn't swing it down over the wall, because that wouldn't work. What do I have? What else do I have that rotates? Or maybe a fan? A fan? Wait! The fan was on the ground, right? When the embassy burnt. When the embassy burnt down. So, maybe it was tied to the fan.
I believe it was done via rotary motion. If the two statues were transported simultaneously... Simultaneously? Get real! The statues would collide somewhere along the way. Did I ever say that there was only one line of wire between the two offices?
Oh!
If you shoot an arrow with the two ends of wire tied to it, a circular belt can be formed. Longji says, don't object and call a success what is beyond reasonability. Taking into account the tension difference between the two wires. The top one would sag too much to the point where the statues would collide anyway. Agent Lang. As you know, the Prima Duck statue is a one-of-a-kind national treasure, and the fact that Babal's statue is a hollow replica of the real statue, it would naturally be lighter than the real one, meaning that my idea is very possible.
He's right! He's on to us, Your Honor! Oh! I just love feeling like I got the right answer, you know? I live for that thrill of getting the right answer in a 7th grade English class. Oh, the other day you took a practice exam for science and got 97%! Heck yeah, let's go!
Longji says,
Awoo!
here's what I believe happened. Ms. Yu and her mystery co-conspirator set themselves up in two different rooms. The co-conspirator bridged the rooms by shooting the two ends of wire down on one arrow. Then the two of them covered the statues and proceeded to transport the statues. After the switch was completed, another arrow was fired, carrying the other end of the wire down to Babal, where it was to be disposed of. And to do that, Miss Yu hid it inside the grandfather clock. QED.
Yes! For those of you wondering what QED means, it means that which is proven. It's Latin. I forget what it actually... I forget what the letters actually stand for besides it's Latin. But it's that which is proven. And you put it at the end of math proofs. So when you sit down to do a math proof, right? What you do is replace literally every single number with letters, and then you move them around with the maths. There you go. Yeah, chat's got me. Quod erat demonstrandum. Yeah, that makes sense. Quod erat demonstrandum. My Latin is questionable. Wah! Okay, we hydrate as chat demands.
Body break.
Alright. And a big stretch. Big stretch. Okay. And... oh, I do gotta do a body break. Oh, but there's still... the weights are... Stop! Stop! The weights, where are they? I know I was a very busy little octopus. Where did I put them? What do you mean they're right there? Stop. Stop. Where? Stop pointing at the outside of the tank. You could just reach in and put them. Where are they? Oh, I got them. Sorry, I got scared because Steph reached in and I thought they were reaching for me again. Sometimes they're reaching for me and so I swam away, but it's okay. Okay, we got it. Alright, we're gonna do shoulder presses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we did it. Wow. Thank you, staff. Today's staff doesn't like it when I talk to them or acknowledge that they're there. Not because they're afraid, they just don't like it. They are trying very hard not to think about me being here. It's okay, though. I like them. They're fun.
Ha!
This proves it, right, Agent Fine? It's the time, not the killer.
Not yet, sis. I still haven't had my dessert yet. Right, Mr. Prosecutor? The proof is in the pudding, as it were. Pudding is a nice dessert. So, do you think you can do it? Can you prove that what you said is what happened? Because remember, if you can't, I'll be taking a certain someone back home with me as a souvenir.
Being a streamer is a very busy job, so it's a good thing you have a mod to help you out. It's true! Hey, Fier, want to pet the sea bunnies? Yes, but I'm not going to play Roblox about it. Laying is right. I want some pudding. Pudding! Pudding! Oh. I had a cat named Puddin'. One of the enrichment cats was named Puddin'. Oh, but she's no longer with us. I miss her because she was silly. She couldn't walk right. She was the worst at being a cat, which was very bad because she was a cat. She was a tortoiseshell, and her face was all smushed in because she was, one of those, how sometimes aminals get overbred. So her face was all smushed in and flat. So she had like half the size. She was like a pug of cats. And she had splayed ribs, so her front feeties didn't point forward. Also, it made it hard for her to breathe good, so she had to be careful about that. She had too many toes on every foot. She had like double the toes on every single foot. And she constantly had like a runny nose at all times, practically all times. Sometimes when she would be asleep, you could see the like anime snot bubble out of her nose. It was very sad, but also very cute. And her purrs were always wet. But we loved her anyway, and she was very sweet and cuddly, and so cuddly. Oh my gosh, she got she didn't even get like regular cat sized. She got like older kitten sized, like teenage cat sized. But she never got any bigger, and she was very cute and very stupid. Or more accurately, she was smart enough to get herself into lots and lots of trouble, which I liked about her. It made me happy. She just wanted to curl up in a pudding cup round and just lay there with you and be on you and be near you and everything else. And she would purr a whole bunch. Also, she couldn't meow right. She never got the hang of it. She did meow loud. The loudest noise she ever made was a pudding beep, which is a little beep that she made. It was the loudest noise she had. Otherwise, she wouldn't make sound at all. She might scratch stuff with her too many toes. But the loudest noise she could make was this little like, wow, 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 wow. Like a little kitten. And my mic probably peeked that out, actually. Because it does sometimes. But the loudest noise she could get was wow, 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 wow. Oh, Mike's picking that up. It was higher pitched than that, but I think the mic peeks it out when I do that. And she was so cuddly. And she was so bad at everything. She was the worst at being a cat. Also, her whiskers were all crooked. And her toothers didn't fit in her mouth because it was too small because her snout was too squished. So they were out of her mouth all, like, her front toothers, her big fang toothers were out of her mouth all the time. She didn't lose them, but they were kind of out there all the time a little bit. I also liked that. She drooled on everything. What a silly kitty. Someday I'll show you guys pictures of her because she's really cute and I have lots of pictures of her. Lots of pictures of Roxy too, which is the Carrington Richmond cat. They did not get along. Right, I digress. Someone said pudding and it reminded me of pudding. Pudding!
I agree that as long as there's no proof, my hypothesis remains just that. However, what I have laid out is no mere hypothesis, for there is one more piece of evidence. One more? This should be interesting. You think you have a piece of evidence that will turn your hypothesis into fact? Well then, let's see it, Mr. Prosecutor. The thing that made it possible to create a circular belt out of a length of wire. I believe that's right here in this very room.
Is it the ceiling fan?
Bonk. Ha! Looks like you dropped another bomb on us again.
The last piece to the trick are two pulleys.
Precisely. The ceiling fans double as pulleys in this case. And thanks to the fact that there is one installed in each of the offices, the ceiling fans made the perfect pulley set for the wire to run on.
Yeah!
Ah! Ah!
Ow! We're making him howl.
This must be it. This is how the smugglers bypass the impenetrable security. You really are something else, Mr. Prosecutor. I bet you've figured it all out already, haven't you? You know who the big hotshot that set up this real-life stage show is, don't you? The person who set up this rather large and complex stage show needs to be someone who had foreknowledge of the existence of a ceiling fan in both Alabastian and Babylese offices. And the passion flower support stakes could be used as arrows. The real mastermind behind this case. Well, don't you dare make this wolf wait for his food.
Guess who's making pudding? I bet it's you. He's tweaking. Yeah, he is.
Oh, I sure hope
I sure hope we don't have to...
We're gonna accuse Quericus! Quericus, you fool!
Why are you so hesitant, Miles Sedgeworth? If you can't say who it is, why don't you present something like you always do?
A single point of the finger here, and this case will explode into an international incident. However, it's already too late for me to stop the forward momentum. It appears that I have no choice now, but to rush in. There is a piece of evidence that will point us to who the mysterious mastermind is.
Is it the statue? Is it Babal's, or... Is it Babal's?
No, that wouldn't prove anything.
These! These are the plant sticks! It has to be them. Nothing else connects.
Take that!
The smuggling could not have been possible without the use of the crossbow. Furthermore, the arrows that were shot by the crossbow were plucked, as it were, from the flower box in this very room.
Ooh, pistachio pudding. Is it the green stuff? I remember pistachio pudding being green. Staff, I want pudding. What do you mean I can't have any? Yeah, I know I have chips. I don't know, I want pudding. Because Chad's having pudding. Yeah, I know I said I wanted chips. Oh yeah. They've informed me that the stores are closed. And also that we don't have any butterscotch pudding. Chat will share pudding with fear if chat gets one whole shrimpy. Okay! This is amendable. Anemone. Amenable. Amenable. I did it. I could be a Crimbus boar. Have you guys seen the Christmas boar? I'll show you the Christmas boar later. Ooh, a cosmic brownie. I don't... Wait, no, cosmic brownies are the ones I like because they don't have walnuts in them. Ugh, we hate walnuts. I don't hate walnuts. But I don't like walnuts in brownies. Do you know what... Do you know... I have a cosmic brownie, I think. Yeah. Do you know what... If Cosmo doesn't get a cosmic brownie by the end of the year, skin by the end of the year, well, next year.
They were planted so long ago that the passion flowers had the time to grow so big that Miss Von Karma didn't even notice the arrows when she visited this room today. On top of all this, the fact that the culprit knew that both offices had ceiling fans tells us that the person has very detailed information on the embassy's layout. So as you may have already guessed, the person I'm accusing of hatching this plan is the person who grew the flowers in the flower box with the utmost care. Thus, it can only be you, Quericus Alba.
Are you out of your mind, Miles Sedgeworth?
I'm certain of what I'm saying, and I'm sure that he is the culprit. Tell me, Mr. Prosecutor, what was the ambassador trying to accomplish by doing all this stuff you just outlined? Why in the world would he need to use a trick like that? I understand your need to doubt me. However, there is one thing that stands out to me as very odd. Just one thing, huh? The one single end result Ambassador Alba sought to obtain. If we were to examine the focus of this complex trick, I believe we will finally be able to answer everything. Everything will become clear once we examine this piece of evidence.
Is it Babals or Alabas? Oh boy. Which statue is over here? Is it the Alabast one? Oh, yeah, it must be, because we've already presented the other one. Are we in Babal or Alabast? Whatever. And statue.
I would fully understand the reasoning had the situation been the reverse. However, to go through the trouble of swapping the real Prima Duck statue for the fake, I sense a very shady reason for such a bizarre action. And who better to ask for that reason than King Prima Dux himself?
Oh, Valentine skins. That'd be cute.
I see. Ambassador, we'll be examining that statue now, with or without your permission.
This guy kind of looks like the Steel Samurai, don't you think? Maybe it's because they look alike that he was picked to be the Goodwill Ambassador?
I suppose that's possible. Take a look at that area around the base of his neck. It looks like a gap.
Hey, you're right! Maybe it's meant to be some kind of secret.
Perhaps it's possible to open the statue from this gap in its construction.
What? Hurry up and open it, Miles!
Alright, here goes.
Excuse me? Wow, it really did open up! Hey, what's this thing that fell out? Those are money plates! That's Zhangfa money! That's what that is! Or rather, it's the plates used to print it. And since it's printed out of Babalese ink on Alabastian paper... Now that I think about it, this is a Japanese game. I wonder if Kadofia is done up as Korea. North and South in the Japanese version. It never occurred to me to check. Because Zhangfa is clearly China. But the way Kodofia is done up is Ireland.
I believe a more thorough examination of it is required. What in the... Is this? Hey! Is this what I think it is?
It's a plate. For making counterfeit bills!
Somehow, it appears that we've at long last arrived at the exit to this complex labyrinth. We finally hold within our hands one of the counterfeit money plates. And the reason why the replica was smuggled into Alabast to begin with. Ooh. The Prima Duck statue can only be handled by the ambassador or the secretariat, and the replica is nothing more than a hollow shell covered in gold. These two circumstances make the statue the ideal object in which to hide contraband. After receiving the statue containing the counterfeit plate from Shina, the ambassador had the misfortune of accidentally running into Damask II. Surprised by the thief, the ambassador raised the replica statue at Damask II and... Then, in order to frame the steel samurai of the murder, he covered the samurai sword in blood. Well, Ambassador Alba? You're the leader of the smuggling ring? My country is a mess, and it's all because of you?
You're the one who killed Damask II?
Answer us.
He legitimately doesn't have to. But he probably will. Him and his shillelagh probably will. I do see how implied it is.
I never thought that you'd figure things out to this level. However, there's one point I disagree with, John. The head of the smuggling ring was Mr. Cochin. Quit screwing around! I have no sympathy for someone who would try to pass the guilt on to a dead man. If there's one thing I'm sure of, it's that you're the real ringleader, Quericus Alba. Oh, it's not Not good to speak with such subjectivity, you know, Agent Lang. Subjectivity? My conclusion is anything but, and is the result of logic and investigation. Logic and investigation. Only seconds ago, you were ready to arrest Mr. Von Karma. Oh, I don't think we can give such flip-floppy logic any real weight, do you? It looks like you still don't get why I came back. Excuse me? You see, the reason I came back is so that I could sink my fangs into your wrinkly old neck.
Agent Lang. Agent Lang. I got questions. I don't want answers. But I got questions. I knew that he knew what was going on. Pierre, can I have fangs? Yes. It's easiest to get fangs if you find a vampire. If you can't find a vampire, Scarecrow makes excellent fangs. Excellent costume fangs. You mix up some stuff. You put it in the fang. You put the fang on your actual teeth. And then you take it off. You leave it there for a few seconds. You take it off. Chip away the bits and bobs. Let it dry for a while. And then you have fake fangs that are indistinguishable from your real teeth unless you really look hard. You can't eat with them in. It's dangerous to do that. But they do fit very well. And they hold exceptionally well, too. And you can do the top and bottom. They even come in different sizes, so you can have different sized fangs. I really liked them the year I had them for Halloween. And I still have mine kept in good, clean condition. Would I be a good vampire? You'd be like Helena in the first Hellsing anime, I think. Hold up in a lighthouse library with all of your books. Please leave me alone. That's Helena. She's got a library full of books. And a desire to be left to her own devices. Fair enough. I think it's not that you want to be left alone. I think it's that you want the people you want the people you don't like to go away.
From the very beginning, my real target has been you.
What? Agent Lang, I demand an explanation.
Sorry, sis. I didn't mean to put you through all that. I knew you were innocent from the very beginning.
Oh, he did know. He knew the whole time I was right.
You did? I knew that this whole incident had been meticulously planned and prepared for. So naturally, the occupant of this room, Ambassador Alba, seemed the most suspicious. But without the ambassador's permission, we couldn't get in to take another look around.
I was right about exactly what happened here. I'm so good at this. Okay.
So that's why you put on this big show to accuse Francisca of the murder. Using Francisca as the bait, you were able to gain us entry to the investigative rights. Yeah, if I hadn't done that, I doubt the ambassador would have given the okay to poke around.
So that's what this is all about. Very well, I will forgive you. But, in exchange for using me as bait, you will take some responsibility and help us find the truth.
Agent Lang, for giving me such a great opening, I thank you. You know, I just knew, Mr. Prosecutor, that somehow, if we were able to find some proof by investigating this room, that you'd be able to figure out the real culprit with your special brand of logic. The evidence detectives collect combined with the logic of a prosecutor. That's just as it should be in a prosecutor-detective team, right?
Oh no! I hope Gumshoe's not too jealous of these boys. These boys are both rocking up so super confident. And Gumshoe's just over there like, but I'm Mr. Edgeworth's sidekick.
I don't know about all that. But one thing I do know is that I'm itching to see that old man get what's coming to him. Oh, you're quite... Oi, you're quite scary when you want to be, aren't you? Hey, you were the one who was planning to use me to push all the guilt onto the sis. But unfortunately for you, you misjudged me. Agent lying. I wish for you to stop trying to intimidate me. What we need right now is evidence and proof. I wonder if you have what is necessary to prove that I am the head of the smuggling ring.
Objection!
Don't be such a sore loser. If you really are the head of the smuggling ring, then you should acknowledge your crimes with dignity.
Dignity? That is nothing more than a fool's insincere display of strength. If you really wish for me to acknowledge my crimes, then I'd like to first see some of this thing you call evidence. I tell you, I know nothing. Really. I didn't even know that a counterfeit plate was hidden inside that statue. You swapped the real statue and vested in your country the authority to rule for a fake. It doesn't make any sense that you didn't know anything. What doesn't make any sense? Where doesn't it make sense? Can you prove that it doesn't make sense?
He's really got us. He's turns the entire situation around against us.
The proof that Interpol has been after, which points to this man as the ringleader. If we can somehow find that proof now, we can see justice is finally served. Is there nothing I can use to break this case wide open?
I mean, my man, you have what you need.
The trump card and the videotape. With those two items, we might be able to finally bring this man down. But the card is evidence from a case that Mr. Faraday hid away in secret. And the tape was stolen by Detective Bad from the police. They're both illegal evidence.
My man! Excuse me, sir. Edgeworth? Are we really bringing out the poisoned well now? Or sorry, fruit from the poison tree? Are we really bringing that out now, my guy? Updated autopsy report, my man? Spirit of Justice is going to ruin you. Yes, this is true. That game is going to hurt you in ways that you didn't think were possible. My man! I can't tell you. I'm not going to tell you. You're going to wiki it anyway, but you shouldn't because it'll hit harder if you don't. It is going to take a while, yes, but we will get there. Also, once we're done with this investigations game, we're going to take a little break from investigations to play something else on Sunday. And we'll get back to the investigations games when, in a couple of weeks. In Stars and Time. No, I just want to play Spyro the Dragon. It doesn't take long for me to get through Spyro. And I really like it. And I think you guys will really like Spyro 2, actually, because it's fun. Spyro 1 is hilarious, and I love it. There's also the Crash Bandicoot triples. If I can get Legend of Dragoon to work, I will play that for you guys. But I don't think that I can, so we'll play Spyro instead. I want to play like a silly little action game. My favorite world in Spyro is Dreamweavers. We'll see how quickly I can get there. I am not a speedrunner. I like to try to 100% the worlds as I go through them. I want to play that right now, actually, but I don't have the data for it downloaded at the moment.
No matter what, a protector of the law can't be allowed to use such pieces of evidence. Needless to say, we Von Karmas are commanded to achieve nothing but victory, and by any means necessary. The only way to bring someone like that to justice was to do so outside of the courts. That's what we thought at the time. I no longer follow the path of Manfred von Karma. And I won't follow the path of the Yatagarasu. This leaves me with what? What creed will I believe in? If I want to pursue the truth, then I will sully my hands in illegality. And if I want to pursue justice, then I will lose the truth.
Oh, Edgeworth.
What is the law, and what is justice? And which path is a prosecutor supposed to follow? That choice is what I must make by my own hand here and now.
Why are we doing this to me? Why are we doing this to me? Why are we making me make this choice? I don't have anything else.
There is no limit to the law. Any limit that exists was set there by man. When a person goes beyond that limit, then the law too crosses into new territory. For what reason were laws invented? The answer to that is what I must now show. Ambassador Elba, I wonder if you might recognize this. Oh, I wonder what this card is. I've never seen that before in my life. It's a directives card used by the leader of the ring to relay instructions to his subordinates. Oh, is that what it is? This card was sent to the real culprit behind the KG-8 incident 10 years ago. A man by the name of Mr. Manny Cochin. Oh, so why do you have such a card in your possession? Because it was hand-delivered to me. By a certain great thief, the Yatagarasu. The Yatagarasu gave that to you? Don't talk nonsense, and let's be serious, Mr. Edgeworth. Do you have any proof that the card contains directions from the ringleader? I'll have you know that this card is not the only thing I was given.
What? Oh, I'm sorry. Still waiting for that one ship blog I followed to update. Fiera, I hate Manfred almost as much as I hate the king. That makes you Manfred's number 2 hater. Number 3 hater. Number 4 hater, actually. Number 1 hater of Manfred von Karma, Edgeworth. Number 2 hater of Manfred von Karma, Mayafay. Number 3 hater of Manfred von Karma, Phoenix Wright. Number 4 hater of Manfred von Karma, probably Val. Tied with literally everyone else. Oh, and also, of course, all the innocent people that have been sent to prison because of him. Then again, they can't hate anything because Japan has the death penalty and they're dead. it's me, Ash!
What? This contains security footage that was shot just before the start of the KG8 incident.
Oh, the KG8 incident.
The card and the video. These two pieces of evidence are what will seal your fate.
Ho ho! Very interesting. Oh, I must admit, I'm very curious now.
Very curious indeed in these case-deciding pieces of evidence you've presented. The prey the Atagrassio has been chasing all this time now stands before me. I can't allow this man, who has had a free reign for 10 long years, to simply walk away. Now is the time for me to bring to fruition that valiant spirit that was given to me.
What is that, a tape? Give me the tape, I need it to heal. There's a bunch of tapes right there.
So, what is this interesting thing you wanted to show me? The trump card and the videotape. These two pieces of evidence together make for the ultimate hand. And this is where the real meaning behind Detective Bad's words will be realized. Detective Gumshoe.
Yes, sir.
What you see here is security footage shot just before the KG8 murder occurred. From this footage, we know that the card is a directives card from the smuggling ring. This is the section that proves that the card was used to relay an order. Is it the knife?
Can I rewind or fast forward? Or do I just present the card? I feel like... I guess.
As you can see, Mr. Cochin is holding the card in his right hand.
Oh, I see. The killer is indeed holding a card with the exact same design on it. But that card and the one you have... Just because they look like the same doesn't mean that they are, does it now?
But there's a very easy way for me to prove that they are in fact one and the same. All we have to do is simply take a look at this. This dark red blood. Yes, this is your proof. Proof that the orders in this card were played out in that terrible tragedy. The blood belonged to the victim of the KG8 incident. With a bit of DNA testing, we can very easily verify that as fact.
No, you have not shown me the food items on the diner floors.
If you have no objections, then I'd like for you to take a look at this next piece of footage.
That's Manny Cochin back there.
This car that passed by in front of the victim's apartment building. It's an official Kadofian government car.
What?
Detective Gumshoe, if you could please magnify the footage. This area of the footage directly links the smuggling ring with Kadofia. Is that the Kadofian embassy symbol?
Take that!
This section will make it all clear to us.
Oh.
You must be very tired, Mr. Edgeworth. If you continue presenting completely irrelevant evidence like this, I'm afraid your investigation may fall apart. Perhaps it's time for you to retire.
Wait!
Urgh! They're so sure it was this area. Alright, focus, Miles. The area I should be pointing out is definitely here.
Oh, it's the card.
Take that!
The shape in this pocket and the directives card in it tells us that without a doubt this person in this car is Mr. Cochin. The license plate of this car was also captured by the security camera, and with it we can easily find out who was sitting in this car on that day 10 years ago. Which is why I can say with confidence that you were riding in this car on that day.
Arrgh!
You've done well, my boy, to make it this far. However, about your claim that I was riding in the car at the time, That's going to be mighty difficult to prove. How so? The Principality of Cadofia no longer exists, so naturally all records from the time period also no longer exist. That arrogance. What he really means is he's already erased all traces of them. Are we finished here, boy? The only weapon I have left to me now is this piece of footage. There must be something that I can use against him.
He literally pointed it out for us. I already knew that's what I needed, which is why I presented it too early.
What the? Ambassador Alba! Yes, what is it? You were once an army man in the service of Cadofia, and it was you who made the many missions you participated in successes, correct? Humph! Why the sudden back-ended praise, this boy? Although, to be sure, the brilliant medals on my breast were awarded to me during the era of Cadofia. But now I'm the only one who owns this particular medal. In that case, the only person it could be who is sitting in this car is you. How do you figure that? By the medal captured here in this footage. It's clearly the exact same medal as the one on your chest. Look at him crack like wood. Look at him. He's cracking like a wooden tree. He done got split. Boy's been hit too hard with a chisel. Yeah, he done been hit too hard with a chisel. Oh, he's gonna have to have a little he's gonna have to have a little guy in green with a sword and a shield. Go on in there, probably to slay some spider looking thing or something. Gonna have to go in there. It'll fix it. It'll put him right. This is how it will be, but I won't look back. But I'm sadly off to slay the princess. But for this is the path that I've chosen. You've moved me with your devotion to this case, Mr. Edgeworth. Why is he taking such an arrogant stance with me? It's almost looking impossible, isn't it? For the lot of you to have come this far. Looks like I just might lose our little game this time. You might lose the game this time? You don't get another round, Mr. Ambassador. Is that a fact? Farewell. Well, I've decided to confess and admit my guilt. You're going to confess? Well, and I will accept whatever punishment that may come as a result. What the? Regarding the Damask II murder, I admit it. I did it out of self-defense. You're claiming it was justified self-defense? Damask II attacked me and I felt my life was in danger. If I hadn't done what I did, I might be the one you found dead instead of him. What a pathetic performance. Oh, I'm not giving you one.
Wow, you two really know how to laugh at inappropriate times.
Okay. If you wish to claim it was justified self-defense, then we'll need to see some evidence. It's always the evidence with you, isn't it? But if that's what you require, I'll provide it. That man left a mark on me when he attacked. What? I don't particularly want to show it off, but this is proof that it was in the self-defense. I'm an old man, and sometimes I don't pay enough attention when I should. But Damask didn't have a single weapon on him, on his body. Hold on. It's nothing to get so worked up over, because I hid the weapon. You hid it? I'm sorry, but you know, a murder's a murder, even if it is in self-defense. I know I couldn't let it become public, seeing as how I am an ambassador. This is the weapon you seek. Special bonsai trim and shears. It's covered in blood. He was trembling quite badly during our struggle, but that's when he grabbed the shears that were sitting in my office and attacked. So you see, it was an act of self-defense.
Is he right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Since he has both a wound and the weapon that caused it, it's enough to declare it so.
No way!
Which reminds me. Well, I guess there's still one more thing, one more accusation I need to resolve. Smuggling and counterfeiting. Unfortunately, all of that is my secretary's doing. I had no knowledge it was going on. Stop spewing nonsense. You're trying to throw my investigation under the bus in your desperation. If you want to get real honest, everything in this case can be connected to you.
The murder of Damascus II was done in self-defense? In my trials, no man escapes his crime alive.
Perhaps so, but if you're my opponent in court. However, there's one very important fact I think you may have forgotten.
And what is that?
He is not from here. He's an ambassador. This is an international incident. That's what you mean. Extraterritoriality. That's right. This embassy sits on what's effectively Alabastian soil. So any trial that is to be held here will be held in Alabast. Therefore, the crime I just admitted to will never be tried in your courts. Agent Lang, what's Interpol's stance on this? Agents investigate. That's our job. The judgment of people who have confessed to their crime. That's the court's job. And I've already confessed to all my crimes, Agent Lang. Furthermore, by the very nature of my position, I have full extraterritorial rights. These rights are effective even on your country's soil. Therefore, no matter where a crime may take place, I'll never stand trial in one of your courts. That arrogance and your expression. That's nothing like the face of someone who's ready to accept the consequences. Don't tell me you have your own country's judicial system eating right out of your hands. These crimes you speak so seriously of. To me, this has all been nothing more than a game. You may chase me out of this embassy with your accusations, but it's no big deal. Alabasta has numerous other embassies in other countries around the world. All you'd accomplish is, you would change the backdrop of our little game. These 2 layers of protection that extraterritoriality provides him. This is why he's one of those who cannot be brought to court. You see now, don't you? I live in a whole different world than you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go and fetch your eviction papers. Is there nothing we can do?
I bet we can. I'm almost certain that we can. Okay. I'm so excited. I love this game so much, you guys. Pierre, I miss Emma. Me too. When will she be back? Next game. She's also in the Phoenix Wright games that we're going to be playing. I think. I'm pretty sure she's in the 3rd Phoenix Wright game. If she's not, then it'll be the Apollo Justice ones. Sometimes these blur together and I don't remember which case was in which game. I can't believe it, sir. Extraterritoriality?
Yes, and there's nothing we can really do about that. In the end, we didn't have enough authority to bring him to justice.
I can't believe that even though we know he's the boss, we can't lay a finger on him.
I know. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Sorry to skip out on you, but I got some business to take care of.
If we can't even give an evil guy like him a slap on the wrist, then what the heck were laws created for? What good are they? If the law can't help us, then I'll go as the Yatagarasu and take care of this myself.
Don't you dare.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Sorry, that was a bit too harsh.
I know how you feel, sir. We're trying to take an ambassador after all. And he did tell us earlier to get out of the theater. This is kind of their country, I guess. But I feel like I've been slapped across the face for just doing my job.
What am I going to do? Should I retreat for now and formulate a better plan of attack?
Come on, everyone! We can't give up yet!
Okay.
I want you to think about something for a sec. We've never let up even for a second, and as long as we don't stop investigating, we might find the rotten treasure hidden here. She's right! Come on, Mr. Edgeworth!
You're right, Kay. Very well. Let us reopen the investigation and see what we find. Come on, Kay.
Right behind you. Okay, then I'll go check out Babal a bit more, sir. And I have some things that I need to investigate further in Alabast.
Now then. Before I gather any more information, I should do a bit of housekeeping.
Passion Flowers data erased from my organizer. That's literally the only thing we had to erase. Oh, yeah, no, I don't like the first game's extra case. I kind of hate it. I know she appears there, and she's younger and stuff, because, like, that's sort of... It was originally intended to be, like, this is how she connects and why she knows everybody, in the Apollo games and stuff, but I just... I didn't like it. I didn't like that case. It kind of went against the things that Phoenix Wright does. There were a couple of points, like Danganronpa style points, where the game makes you think you should press and you shouldn't. In fact, one of the ways to lose is literally it leads you to presenting a piece of evidence like it always does, but you're not supposed to present it yet. Oh yeah. You can read these cases, like, top to bottom. I don't know where anymore, but you can read cases top to bottom places. Because it's just a visual novel, so you can very easily do that. Emma's outfit is amazing. I love her a lot. Oh, you're gonna love it. I will play the Apollo games with all of you. Don't worry. We have to see Phoenix's daughter, who Edgeworth definitely helps take care of. Mm-hmm. You can't steal her away.
Ambassador Alba seemed agitated over something.
I wonder why.
There are two special circumstances that surround the ambassador. First, the embassy itself has extraterritorial rights. If something happens on Alabastian soil, we're unable to legally prosecute him.
Cool. It sounds like embassies are the perfect place to steal whatever you want.
And murder Damask II, run a smuggling operation, and make counterfeit bills, apparently.
But I thought all that counterfeiting was done by Mr. Cochin in Babal.
Yes, he apparently used the embassy's coupon printing press to do it. But it's the same story over there anyway. Babal also has extraterritorial rights. Which brings me to my next point. The ambassador's extraterritorial rights. Those rights are effective even in our own country.
Really?
No matter what happens, he can never be tried in our courts. He retains some very special rights indeed. Basically, no matter what wrongs he may commit, we can't bring him to trial here.
So I guess we really don't stand a chance, do we?
We might stand a chance if we can somehow nullify either one of his special rights.
I wonder if the countries have already merged. If Cadofia is already Cadofia.
Flowers were sent by a variety of people and businesses to celebrate the Goodwill event. Even the Steel Samurai received some flowers from the ambassadors.
There are so many bouquets here, it's like a wedding ceremony.
I believe the flowers for those are for a slightly different reason.
What do you mean? This event was supposed to be like a wedding between Alabasta and Babol, right?
Actually, I believe they're more in a state of divorce.
Okay then, this event was supposed to be their remarriage ceremony.
I suppose you could call it that. This was taken just before the two ambassadors gave their bouquets to the Steel Samurai. Wait, is it just my imagination? Or is there something in this picture that I've seen before?
Oh! Oh, do you guys see it? Because I see it. Do you guys see it? Do you guys see it there? Because I'll show you what I see. I'll show you what I see.
It appears to be a bouquet of Persian cyclamens and roses.
Wow, you even know the exact species? I never would have figured you for an expert on flowers.
It's all because of those flowers that old lady sends me every month.
Oh, Edgeworth! She sends you flowers. Wendy Oldbag is really interested. Oh, Edgy Poo.
Just look at me, I sound like some sort of botanist.
So, what exactly is this yellow flower here?
That one? I'm not sure.
What? You don't know?
As far as I can recall, I've never seen a flower like this before. But I feel as though I've seen this shape somewhere before.
Edgeworth, I swear. Sir, please. Please. Yes. It better be. Oops, I keep doing that. Where's the knife handle?
Babal's national symbol is the butterfly and Alabasta is the flower. It would appear that someone is employing the old hide a tree in a forest trick.
What are you mumbling to yourself about? Wait, what? The handle on this knife. Ah!
Yes, it's the handle that was supposed to be on the blade that killed Mr. Cochin. The weapon that killed him was carried through the Theatrum Neutralis.
And the very bouquet Ambassador Alba was carrying.
That flower motif. It looks like one of the flower petals is missing.
Oh! And take a look at the weapon itself. It's missing the exact same petal.
Then the knife in this photo is most definitely the same as the murder weapon.
We know where that flower petal is. We have it in our inventory. I found peak character design. Iris Wilson. Very well. I will look at her. Is she beautiful? Wait. Oh! Yeah, she's from the Great Ace Attorney, isn't she? Yeah, I don't have the Great Ace Attorney, I think, but I could get a hold of it if I needed to.
It seems that lilies are at the center of this bouquet, with an accent of chamomile.
He's right! Those are lilies, and those little flowers at the bottom there are chamomile. Wow! I can totally smell the wonderful fragrance.
Okay, This is just a picture.
Look, I know that. But it's nice to imagine things once in a while, you know? Where's your sense of empathy?
If you can smell the fragrance of flowers from a photo, that's more like a hallucination.
You don't have to be mean about it.
Let's just drop this before it's in full bloom.
Mr. Polino has a really great smile, don't you think? I bet he was really happy that they were going to become Cadofia again.
Perhaps. But instead he became the greatest victim in today's case. An ambassador like him who's always thinking of his country is really to be admired.
Yeah, although this happened, I hope they're able to reunite their country someday.
I hope so as well, but for that to happen, we need to solve this case first.
Irish unification of 2024. We're running out of 2024. We're not going to be able to make our Star Trek jokes.
We need to see to it that those who would harm the new Cadofia are locked away.
And we will!
There's that troublemaker standing there smack in the center making two peace signs.
Wow, the Steel Samurai stands out even more than the two ambassadors in this picture. Oh hey, the person playing the Steel Samurai is one of your friends, right?
No, I have no idea who he is.
Wait, but you just said he. You knew which gender he was, so you must know about him, right?
I beg that you please refrain from talking about that person with me ever again.
Also, to be fair, the Steel Samurai is rather chonky. I can see why someone like Edgeworth would assume there's a man inside that costume. I can't believe he was pretending to be a harmless old grandpa. Talk about deceptive.
I don't suppose anyone expected him to change that drastically.
I did. I bet he's thinking of something evil behind that cheery smile.
Okay, please try to remain calm and focus on the here and now.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry I got all worked up there. Well, the only way we're going to be able to steal the truth is if we keep on investigating.
Okay, we're done. These flowers were sent by Global Studios.
Global Studios?
That's where they filmed the Steel Samurai television show. They've been producing hit after hit recently, so the studio is being remodeled.
Oh, I read about that in the papers the other day. That mascot of theirs is also getting a facelift too, right? What's its name?
You mean Mrs. Monkey?
Yeah, I thought it was something like that. You really have a great memory.
Huh. Never underestimate my powers of recollection.
Body
scared.
bang.
We hydrate as chat demands. Savvy's become my latest victim? Of what? Big stretch. Big stretch. And it's time for some bicep curls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, oh, whoopsie doodle. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we did it. Okay. Me being a nerd over so many different game series, I understand. Anything else examinable here?
Oh? It's a backdrop they used in the Steel Samurai stage show today.
I love the climax of that show. Steel Samurai Sushi Slash! That was the first time I'd seen that special move. But, well, the Jam and Ninja stage show climax was much better, of course.
Oh, is that a fact?
That scene where he sang for Princess Mazzola and gave her those hair sticks? I could totally feel the love there in my heart.
Perhaps the Jammin' Ninja is just more popular with female audiences?
Edgeworth!
Maybe it's because it's a romance.
Edgeworth. Edgeworth, my guy, you're one of those fanboys. I will forgive him, but I'm mad about it. I feel like his special interest is law. I feel like he's a man who has a special interest. I feel like he's a man who has a lot of big emotions and no real way to express them.
You can see the Babalese embassy, which is undergoing major renovations. From room expansions to garden upkeep, it looks like a lot of construction is going on.
Mr. Polino said that all this work is really hard on him. He said that since Mr. Cochin passed away, that maybe I could work part-time for him.
She got really chummy with that ambassador.
What can I say? I just have a good nose for money.
Nope.
Well, let's see what logic pieces we've got. I've only got 3 pieces of logic, so there's... I mean, there's not much we can connect here. If this doesn't connect, I don't know what I'm missing. Look up Barrack Van Zeeks for a moment. Why? Reasons. Very well. I will do this thing you asked me to do. Oh my! That is... Look at him! Oh my goodness! This man is a Castlevania. This man is a Castlevania. Like, just you could remove him from the series he is in, and you could set him down gently in a Castlevania game, and he would fit right in. He would have a better design for Castlevania. You see now? You see why I needed you to turn your gaze upon him? I do, chat. Whew. There's something about him that isn't quite right for my style. Like, I see what we're building on here. But there's something about him that, like, I think it's in the face. Where he has, like... He's almost there. I'm like, wow, he is something. The right artist could make him something. Whew. The right artist could make him something. Ooh. Oh my. But I see why you needed me to turn my gaze upon him. I am not the right artist. You might be. He's, well, we'll have to play that game at some point, I guess. For him and for the little, engineer one.
We know that the counterfeit bills were printed using the embassy's press, but the necessary materials, such as the Babalese ink and paper, must have been hidden in a secure location. But what do you think would have happened if the renovation had begun?
Well, he probably had to find a better hiding place or get rid of it all.
Right. So we can assume that the renovation was the cause of the plate and bills disposal, and the reason Mr. Cochin was killed as the ringleader of the smuggling operation. Based on what we know, who do you think was the one with the most to gain?
Quiricus Alba!
It's the one person who's been erasing all evidence of the smuggling operation. From both embassies, the co-conspirator who's mopping up, Ambassador Alba. Ambassador Alba had a very strong motive to kill Manny Cochin.
Can I just jam these things together?
The cause of Alba's agitation, the rotten treasure we may find, and the motive for killing Mr. Cochin. Ms. Yu said it herself that she didn't kill anyone tonight. If we were to take her words at face value, then the reason for the ambassador's nervousness can only be one thing. He didn't want us to discover the real circumstances under which Mr. Cochin was killed.
Then you mean Ambassador Alba is the real killer? But I thought the two of them were friends.
Maybe they were. But what if Mr. Cochin was the one who first betrayed their friendship?
Oh, I get it. Wasn't Mr. Cochin pushing really hard for Mr. Polino to be ambassador after the reunification?
Yes, and that was the real reason why he wanted to steal Alabast's Prima Duck statue.
So Mr. Cochin hired Damask II to steal it for him. But when Ambassador Alba found out what he was up to, he killed Mr. Cochin?
It is definitely a possibility at this point.
Those two really were thinking of no one but themselves. Iris. Yeah, okay, I get you. Her name is Iris. She got too many eyes. But the question is now, how did he do it? Ambassador Alba was in Alabast, but Mr. Cochin's body was discovered in Babao, right?
Right. And that is what we must solve next. I believe we now understand why Ambassador Alba was so nervous and agitated. It must have something to do with where Mr. Cochin was killed. A place where the Alabastian ambassador was likely to meet the Babelese Mr. Cochin. The place where Ambassador Alba happened to have committed the... It's got to be the theatrum, right?
Like it can't be anything else, right?
Take that!
The only place that makes sense is here, in the Theatrum Neutralis.
What? Here?
The Goodwill event was being held here today, correct? So the only place that both of them would have been in is here.
But if that's the case, then everything changes. This theater isn't actually Alabastian land. So that wipes out one of the extraterritorial rights he has.
It makes logical sense, in which case it is a reason for us to investigate further.
So what should we check out?
Let's see. I believe we should check the immigration records for both Alabast and Babel, post-haste. Babel's records should be easy to obtain, however, the problem will be Alabast. I wonder if they would allow us to see their records despite the order to vacate.
Hey, Franziska! I'm already one step ahead of you, Miles Edgeworth.
Franziska.
I have here is the security footage from both Alabast and Babel. You would do well to take a look at its contents. Franziska! I never thought I'd be like, dang, Franziska with the win, but here we are. W. Franziska! My beautiful baby girl. She isn't. Chad has called dibs on her. And I'll allow it, because I'm not into it. I'm not here for the whip. Only if it's mine. If I can have the whip. I'm 4 centimeters tall, so it would be a very small whip. But I'd use it.
You move fast.
Von Karma strives to be perfect in every way. It's not my nature to keep retreating like this. I took the liberty of looking over the Babel investigation reports as well. From now on, you will make no excuse to back down or say we can't solve this case.
I'm sorry about earlier.
We won't be beaten. Because my cute little subordinate is going to try his very best, isn't he? I just realized how hard it is to give me a nickname. Like, you have Val, and that's pretty much it. I wish I had cuter nicknames. He is cute. Yeah. You could have a Nicholas name. That's where we take your name but make it longer. where we would go like, well, like how we do for Roxy. Are you sure you want to make Valentine longer? Well, we do it for Roxy. Roxiferous, Roxanigan Jones, Esquire, the second. Wait, I did that wrong. Roxiferous, Roxanigan Jones, the second, Esquire. Roxy is a lawyer. A cat lawyer. She practices cat law. So we'd probably just end up calling you Valentine Sunshine or something similar. I do love calling people a Nicholas name. You don't bring down the mood. You haven't done that in ages. Right, back to smuggling.
Hasn't she patronized me enough already for our lifetime? So this video contains footage from Alabast's immigration screening area?
I really hope there's something in there that we can use.
I'm glad there's such a convenient VCR right here.
Quercus Alba.
5:22 p.m. At around this time, the Steel Samurai stage show had come to an end, and Ambassador Alba was making his way back to his office.
And then later, he shook hands with the Steel Samurai in his office. And then he was going to give a speech in the Rose Garden. Being an ambassador sounds like a busy, busy job. That's a very busy job. So it's a good thing he has all his aides to help him out. For those of you that have no sweet clue about what I'm giggling about, you might never learn. I'm so sorry. Maybe you will one day. I'm writing a thing. Sometimes I like to think about what it would be like to be human, so I'm writing a thing. And I'm very excited about it. Maybe you will like it. I know you do. You're beta reading the thing. I get very excited about it, but I also get very scared because what if I'm not good at pretending to be a human or thinking about pretending to be a human? And what if real humans are like, fear, humans have bones. Humans can't squeeze through a keyhole. And then you're like, oh no! Aquarium staff had to tell me that. Humans can't squeeze through a keyhole. The reason you have chain link fences is because you can't go through them. Which is weird. Anyway, maybe I'll show it to all of you someday. Maybe. We'll see. Not this day, though. We'll let aquarium staff be the judge of that. Right, we were having a busy, busy job. It's like someone's always stealing your time away.
Yes, I'd imagine it's something like that. But despite how busy he was, he still managed to find the time to kill Mr. Cochin. And move his body somehow from the Theatrum Neutralis.
There's also posters of this country's tourist spots. So most are of Gatewaterland. I wonder if Alabastians in general like theme parks at all. Yes, the guard who stopped you has been to Gatewaterland a number of times, apparently. I guess they don't have theme parks in Alabast, huh? This man is the immigration officer who was on duty. He's making that exact same scary face he was making a minute ago. Wait, is it just me or is he blushing? It appears he gets flustered around the ambassador. I guess the ambassador's well respected inside Alabast, too.
You could say that. The guard doesn't appear to be capable of looking at the ambassador.
He's too busy being like, there goes my hero.
The door leading into the Theatrum Neutralis.
The more the guy tried to keep me out, the more I wanted to get in. It's human nature. But I guess I can't complain too much. I did get let inside in the end.
At least nothing seems out of ordinary with the door. I can't believe how completely fooled I was by the way he carried himself.
He had me fooled too. According to the files I had sent for earlier, Ambassador Alba was a Cadofian hero. He saves the royal family from danger countless times. So what bothers me is why would a man like that create a smuggling ring?
Yes, why would he do that, Francisca?
Even with all the authority I have, I still haven't been able to figure out why.
Sounds like the ambassador was a hero who was corrupted by evil. But no matter what happened in the past, we can't let this man he is now escape justice. Anything else here?
Was this man the immigration officer who was on duty? He's making a really scary face, even though there's no one around to see it. I wonder if he's just the grumpy sort. Also, that wouldn't do much for tourism. Hey, he smiled just a little now. I wonder if he recalled something funny. Well, even if he did, he still has that hard glare in his eyes.
It would appear that he was born with stern-looking eyes.
Rather fitting for someone in the security business, I'd say. Ooh, I don't remember all these posters. I wonder what they're of.
I do remember a bunch of these hanging in that hallway.
I believe they are all related to tourism and sightseeing.
In Alabast? Impossible. If it were Babal, I could believe that, however.
No. They were posters promoting tourist traps in this country. And I believe they were mostly of Gatewaterland.
I see. So they were targeted at the embassy staff. It's the door leading to the Theatrum Neutralis.
Oh, yes, it's the same. Oh. You know what I really wanted to do, though? I wanted to try sneaking my way in.
At least nothing seems out of the ordinary with the door.
Yeah, but don't forget, I'm going to play my silly dragon game first.
5:21 p.m.
That's just after the end of the Steel Samurai stage show.
Correct.
We were still inside the theater itself around this time. All because Mr. Edgeworth wouldn't get out of his seat.
I want to show the actors my appreciation for a bit and soak up in the atmosphere.
Yeah, with your eyes closed and a complete lack of motion except for some breathing. You should! Hey, it's the Iron Infant! It's just a doll, don't worry. Guard first.
It appears that he is inspecting the person coming into the country.
Are you kidding? It's more like he's not checking the Steel Samurai. And they gave me such a hard time.
There are certain risks involved when you give people preferential treatment. There certainly is a variety of posters on this wall.
It's kind of hard to see what's written on them, so they just look festive, you know? Those are all tourism posters for this country. Also, most are of Gatewaterland. I wonder if any Alabastians actually go to Gatewaterland for fun. It's just really hard to imagine them hanging out there.
True. They do seem to be a nation of extremely serious people. Doesn't something about this lump's shape strike you as odd?
Isn't it supposed to be this shape?
No. There's clearly something odd about that bulge.
Edgeworth! 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 You can't say the words. You can't say that. To me. You can't. There's clearly something odd about that bulge. Ooh woo. I know! I know! You guys know where I'm going though, and that's fine. If you know, you know, and that's enough. Even if I wish I didn't. Woo! Notice this threat to national security. I'm sure you can imagine the sheer dread in my voice. I can. I can't help it. It's really funny. Maybe. Okay, so an octopus. I'm adorable. And only need 1 mini sleep at night. And I did get the correct many sleeps at night. But I'm also feeling very silly and I don't know why. Yay. Oh. No, it's perfect for you. It's exactly the kind of thing you'd like. Um. Um. Oh, that's true. She does. She does have hearts on her gloves. Oh yeah, I get to show you a preview of my Crimbus present. Mint made me a Crimbus present.
If only we had the pushcart itself, we could compare and confirm my hunch.
Yeah, you've seen it, but shh.
Steel Samurai pushed this to Alabast from the dressing room. The bulge is unnatural.
I can't. I'm sorry, I can't take it seriously.
Now let us check the footage from Bival's security camera.
I hope it shows us something good. Phooey! There wasn't a single sign of a suspicious person or anything.
That, right there, is the contradiction.
Huh? Did I miss something?
You didn't miss anything. Because there was nothing to miss. However, what is missing is the image of Mr. Cochin entering in his own country.
Wasn't his body found in Babal?
It would appear that the true face of our final puzzle has finally revealed itself.
Oh, thank goodness. My health. He's here to kick us out.
Ambassador Alba. Why would I ask for you and your group to vacate the premises, Mr. Edgeworth? Actually, I thought I should let you know that this theater sits on my country's soil. You've had your fun, and I enjoyed her little game. I dare say that you've even achieved a new high score. However, once you've recorded a score, that same game can never be replayed again. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Your game is done, and it's a game over. No.
Where do you think you're going at this time of night?
After admitting to my crime, I was overcome with regret. So I'm heading to the airport now to return home. I'm afraid I can't let you do that. There are still too many issues we need to discuss with you. You can't stop me, Mr. Edgeworth, and you know it. Ugh.
Hey, Ambassador Polino! Yeah, let's go! My man!
Please move a little bit of your time, Ambassador Alba. Ambassador Polino! Even just a teeny tiny bit is fine with me. The already strained relationship between our countries is in a precarious situation, you know. Very well. If you insist, we'll play just one more round with them and see what they want. Not that they'll get any further. Ambassador Polino. Mr. Edgeworth, all I wish is for the normalization of relationships between our two countries. But there's one person standing in the way of that dream. I believe in you. You'll do what's right. Thank you for your vote of confidence. Now then, what was it you wanted to ask me about? Or do you have a flight to catch after all? So I'm afraid I'm going to have to limit you to just one question. That's more than enough, because I only have one question anyway. We do? What are we asking about? I want to hear your alibi about how you couldn't have killed Mr. Manny Cochin. Oh, I see. You seem to have a good hand this time round. This should be fun. This really is the very last chance we have to bring him down. I won't allow even an atom-sized contradiction to slip by. I mean, I the player might. I remember this being really difficult, and I don't remember why, but we'll see. It wasn't just that we had one question, it was that was this one where we couldn't press? Well, we'll see. Frankly, I still don't understand why I'm being placed under suspicion here. Under your hypothetical scenario, Mr. Cochin and I were fellow smugglers. But to get to the point, I was in Elevas the whole time. So it's simply not possible for me to have killed him in Babal. That's my alibi. So, that is your alibi. That's correct. Oh, it's simply not possible for me to have committed a crime in Babel. Now that we cleared that up, I appreciate it if you had moved on out of my way. I said hold it. What is it? What is it this time? No, wrong one. What is it this time? I thought I told you I'd only allow one question. Humph. You did. But you still have yet to really answer my one question. What? Until you tell us the truth, I will refuse to budge an inch from where I'm standing. Humph! Very well. I'll play along with you for just a little longer. Miles Edgeworth is my subordinate and representative of this country's prosecutors. You're forbidden to lose! Of course. That is something I've understood from the start. That guy's the one who ordered my father killed, isn't he? Yes, I believe so. The goal of the first Yadagarasi was the capture of the smuggling ring's leader. My father and Uncle Bad, their legacy will live on. Through me! That's why we've just got to catch him, okay? We will, I promise. Now, Ambassador Alba, let's have the truth now, shall we? No matter how many times you ask, my answer remains the same. Let's start here, just in case this is one that doesn't let me press. No, it would have told me, wouldn't it? It's not a hypothesis. Earlier, we proved it to be what happened. Well, let's leave that to one side for now. Because it doesn't change the fact that I've no motive. Oh? So you really had no reason to kill Mr. Cochin? If you want to suppose I had one, then why not? I'll indulge you. After all, this is nothing more than a silly game to me. Even if that's how you see things, I'd appreciate it if you would take me seriously. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I suppose you are in a bit of a pickle. Very well. A game's no fun if the playing field isn't level. Therefore, I formally claim that I had no motive to kill. Now let's see you disprove it. How can he stand there looking proud when he knows he killed another human being? Well, I'm not going to stand by and just watch him get away with his crimes. In that case, what motive would I have to kill my co-conspirator?
Well, he does have a motive, though. Like... How do we show him? We know he had a motive. Is it the statue?
Oh, there's the flower petal from the knife handle. Where did we find that? It's wet for some reason. Because it was in the pool. Is it that? Or is it the statue?
Why do we still have the samurai dogs?
Why are we going to need these? Why are they still here? Why are they still here?
Water makes things wet after all. It surely does. Maybe we'll start with this, because that's got Manny's writing on it, right? And maybe that's good enough.
If you want to know, I believe you did have a motive to kill. It was because Mr. Cochin had betrayed you. But you had your own reason too. Namely, you wanted to pin the smuggling all on him. Evil begets evil, and because you were trying to test each other, it turned into this mess. Oh, I don't believe this. You've had a bad penchant for telling tall tales, Mr. Prosecutor. And if you're not, then I suppose you have some proof to support your argument? I never use guesswork in moving my case forward. It has been proven that this note was written by Mr. Cochin's hand. Shall we take a look at it? The content of the note is a request calling for the theft of Alabast's Primaduck statue. Humph! By killing him and pushing all the guilt for the smuggling onto him, you walk away spotless. I believe you understand what I'm driving at. You had more than a few reasons to kill him. Are you finished with your hypothesizing? Excuse me? Let's suppose I did have a motive. Even so, a motive or a thought alone can't kill. Isn't that right? I didn't expect him to resort to playing the semantics game with me. It appears that this is where the real battle will begin. Now then, if you'll excuse me. Wait, what? I told you at the very beginning, didn't I? You only get one question. Ambassador Elba, if you could please give us just a little bit more of your time. It doesn't matter what kind of man Manny was, he was my subordinate. Which is why I'd like for us to figure out where the real cause of his death. That is something for Babel to figure out, and something to which I have no relation to. Now he's even turning down a request from Ambassador Polino. Well, I'm very sorry, but it seems that now even my voice falls on deaf ears.
There's no need for you to apologize, Ambassador Polino.
We must find some way to stop him from leaving. It seems that there's no further objections. In that case, please allow me to return home.
Is that Lang? Hold it right there, Ambassador Alba.
Kay?
Like I said, Mr. Edgeworth, the Yatagrasu's legacy will live on through me.
Yes, but how do you suggest we stop him from leaving?
You just leave that to me. Ambassador Alba, do you recognize this? Oh, welcome in, Raiders! Hello, everybody! Welcome in! 5 billion points of raid damage! Oh, no! It's my favorite Red Gay attorney! Yes, it's Edgeworth Investigations, time. We're on the last case. We're doing the thing where we're doing the moment, the thing. How's Big Run? Is Big Run a fun time? It's over now, I know, but is it fun? Was it fun? Did you all have fun? Oh, we're doing the thing. Oh, I did it wrong. 5 billion raid point damage. That's okay. Welcome in, everybody. Hello, raiders. For those of you that don't know, I'm Fiera Luna, and I play games on the internet. I am a 4-centimeter tall octopus. I live in an aquarium, and streaming is my enrichment. Big Run's mega over, but it was fun. My co-host in a statue glitched out, and I had to restart my game to get it. Oh, no. Yes, the usual thing that happens. Anyway, we are all having a good time, a delightful time, as you do. Classic Nintendo. We're telling a man he's guilty of murder, but a different murder than he confessed to, which he is also guilty of. Don't get me wrong, he is guilty of all of the murders. Oh, that always works out. I know, right? But welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. We're having such a good time tonight. Murders George, yes. Average country ambassador commits 0 murders. Murders Quercus Alba who commits over 10,000 murders. Who commits over 10,000 murders in his tenure to prop up a smuggling ring is a statistical outlier and should not be counted. Murders George. We love Murders George. He's a great time. Oh, Murders George. Anyway, yes, I suppose I should tell you all, my follows are all anonymous, as you do. They're all completely anonymous, so you may follow and sub and all that stuff. Well, the subs aren't. But anyway, you may follow at your leisure. A notification will still go off, but it won't say who you are. So, because I believe in lurkers' rights. You are allowed to lurk around here. Right. We're very close to 450. The Lurkers Union, exactly. Big fan of lurkers. Anyway, right, this thing. What were we doing? Oh yeah, right. Any of you guys in chat should also definitely go follow Lemo. Lemo's great, plays a bunch of Splatoon and some other stuff like Phoenix Wright, which you guys might notice we're also playing. Nice work, Val! Lemo's one of the folks who inspired me to start streaming in the Splatoon community, along with Squid School and Hydra Mom Devi. So go do the thing, put the buttons, and make that thing happen. Make line go up. I may not play Splatoon on stream anymore, but that is where I started. I like to imagine what it would be like if I could turn into a kid. But I can only be a squid. I can't even be a squid. I'm an octopus. Anyway, I promise you will all have a great time. There will be Sploon. There will be Ace Attorney. There will be all sorts of other things. You will have a good fun time. A good fun time. Yes. Now, where were we? Oh no, I have to find vocal position for this man again. He has a much lower voice than I realized he did, so I've been like trying to just gently lower it down. But it's really hard to hit that pitch and that voice and everything. Well, we'll do our best. We descend once more. Yes. Oi, no. No. No? Ah! Boy, and yeah, there we go. And why? No, and why should I recognize that tattered old organizer? Wait, where have I seen that before? That is a clue my father, Bern Faraday, left for us. Did you say Bern Faraday? Mr. Faraday's organizer? Don't tell me this is from the second KG8 incident. The one in which he wrote about the Atagrasu's key? Yes. This organizer belonged to the prosecutor you had Miss Yu kill 7 years ago. Humph. I've no idea what you're talking about. You say that like it was related to me. Inside this organizer, he wrote up every detail of every evil thing you did.
What an amusing little girl you are. But what sort of that sort of trickery won't work on me.
If you won't believe me, then take a look at this.
And what's that toy there? That's...
This thievery device was used by the Atagrasu, or rather by my father. 7 years ago, he used this when he snuck into this embassy.
What?
These two pieces of evidence that hold information and the Atagrasu dug up on you. If you go home now, I won't hesitate to send it all to Alabast, right behind you.
Little girl, get to the point.
I want you to go up against Mr. Edgeworth one more time. If you win, then I'll hand over these two pieces of evidence.
Yatagarasu, air the thorn in my side. Kay, does that organizer really contain any information on his dirty dealings?
It's nothing case-breaking, really.
Ah, then it was just a bluff.
Even if it was, we still can't let all the info my father and Uncle Bad found go to waste. Plus, just the existence of Little Thief is troublesome enough for him.
Those two pieces, aren't these the keepsakes of your father?
It's okay. I believe in Mr. Edgeworth. He'll come out on top in the end.
Kay.
When the going gets tough, someone's got to be there to put the wind back in your sails.
After all this time, you're still quite the feisty one. I applaud your powerful nature. I refuse to lose this too. Ambassador Alba, you won't be returning home until you give us further testimony. How dare y'all! Oops, wrong. That was completely... I became Southern for a moment. Channeled a Southern man for a moment. How dare y'all? You all.
I can't get it.
Why, how dare y'all? Byron a person like me. Ambassador Alba, your testimony, if you please. Alright, but this is the absolute last. Then, even if you use the power of Ambassador playing his office, you won't stop me. I can't let this opportunity Case created for me go to waste.
Why I oughta! I know, right? Let's go part 2.
The last time I met with Mr. Couchin was here in the Theatrum Neutralis. After that, I was in Alabast for the rest of the time, as I stated earlier. In any case, I did not see Mr. Couchin again after that. So you see, there's no time span in which I could have killed him. Wouldn't you agree?
I don't. I think you went swimming.
Now, since you people are practically begging, I'll allow you to question me.
What an arrogant old man.
Yes, but no matter. We can't allow this chance to escape us. Well, I will warn you, though. You reached the end of my patience. Waste my time with any inane questions, and you'll be punished. So any needless pressing or presenting will hurt our case.
In that case, the only thing you can do is present the correct evidence. Understood?
Oh, no! This is this one. Okay. Of course, I don't intend to let him intimidate me. I know Mr. Cochin was killed before he returned to Babal, in which case there's only one statement to which I need to present evidence.
I believe it, hopefully. I think it's this one. No, wait. Maybe it's this one. Let's start here, and if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. 2. I don't know what we're doing. Where's that picture? Oh yeah, the one with the knife sticking clean out of it.
Objection!
I hate the picture.
I'd like you to take a look at this picture. Oh, it's a rather nice picture, isn't it? Well, it's to commemorate the restoration of relations between our nations. Oh, it's commemorative, all right. One that captures the proof I need to show that it was you who committed the murder. Come again? This is the knife that killed Mr. Cochin. I see you recognize it. As well you should, for it was you who brought it to the theater. You hid it amongst the flowers you were to give the Steel Samurai. Meaning that you killed Manny Cochin here at the theater. It's time for me to catch my flight. We're not through yet. Oh, it's game over for you, Mr. Edgeworth. But I thank you for all the entertainment. No matter how passionately you orate, at the end will still be the same. I won't be returning to this country ever again. That's right. This man is an ambassador, and he has extraterritorial rights. No matter how hard we chase after him, we won't be able to have him tried in court. Yes, that's exactly the face you should be making. The face of a worthless cur. No! Now then, ladies and gentlemen, I must bid you farewell. The courts. Is there no one who can lay a finger on this man? Is this really the end?
Hey, Wang!
Agent Lang! Sorry to keep you waiting, Mr. Prosecutor. Get out of my way! My plane is scheduled to take off soon. Sorry, but you're not going anywhere, Mr. Alba. I'm through playing games with you people. You can't touch me. If you do, it would spark an international incident, Agent Lang. Sorry, but no, it wouldn't. What? Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Good job holding the fort down here until I got back. So, Mr. Alba, your diplomatic immunity has just been revoked.
That's what he gets!
What do you mean, revoked? Spare me this nonsense and let me through. Langji says before aiming for the throat, chew the neck shield off first. Interpol headquarters in the Imperial household of the Kingdom of Alabast. Took a while to get things rolling, but they finally moved on it. The Imperial household? You... What have you done? You've been relieved of your duties as ambassador, Mr. Alba. What? Effective today. Effective right now. And you have Mr. Prosecutor's videotape to thank for this.
The video that the Yatagrassi protected?
You can't be arrested simply because you're an ambassador. In that case, I thought I'd strip you of that title. You underestimated me, a descendant of the founder of a detainment philosophy, Langji. 4,000 years of deeply entrenched connections and networks around the world have really paid off. Where'd he get his cane back? What can't be? I don't believe this. My ambassadorship has been revoked? Ha 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 ha! Looks like you're finally coming to grips with your new standing.
Woohoo! Looks like he turned docile again.
He's probably in shock from the loss of his shield.
What a shame. I'd so wanted to use my whip on him.
Why is this happening to me? I'm just a hard-working, honest ambassador. Do you really think you can still pull that on us now? We've already ripped away the mask and seen you for who you really are. Mr. Alba.
You love saying that.
I love this for him.
Ugh.
Whoa!
He transformed.
Nah, I want to be stopped now. He still intends to fight us? So what if I'm no longer an ambassador? You still don't have any evidence on me. The fact remains you cannot arrest me. Huh, I'd expect no less from you, the boss of a smuggling ring. Well, the rest is up to you, Mr. Prosecutor. Understood. You say that I killed Mr. Cochin in the theater? But even if it's true that there was a knife in my bouquet, I left that bouquet in the theater. So anyone could have taken it out of there and used it, right? Besides, the claim that he was killed here itself is odd. After all, wasn't his body discovered in Babel? Are you claiming that he carried his body all the way over there? Humph! Preposterous! I'll be the one to prove whether it's preposterous or not. Ex-Ambassador Alba, are you ready? Oh, that's worth my neon. Because this is no game. This is war. I killed Mr. Cochin in this theater using a knife that was stuck in my bouquet. I left that bouquet in the theater. Anyone could have taken the knife from there. Besides, Mr. Cochin's body was discovered in Babel, right? There's no way for me to have transported his body from the theater to Babel. Look, don't you think you've had enough fun with me? You've already stolen my ambassadorship from me. Would you have me surrender too? I would. You have no plans to ever return to this country, isn't that right? Did you know that a bunch of your subordinates are seeking asylum because of you? As if I care. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, boot this guy out of the embassy and we can finally end everything. I know, and I will give it my all to see that he leaves in handcuffs. Without the title of ambassador, he's just another witness. Yes. Just another witness.
Alright. What are we waiting for? Let's get this guy.
And get him good. I wonder if they understand that all I can do is present evidence to the testimony.
I mean, we could punch him. We could punch him right in the schnoz. I see no reason not to hit him. We're not allowed, actually. Maybe the rules say that we don't.
Well, I killed Mr. Cochin in the theater using a knife that was stuck in my bouquet.
I think they want him to beat that guy up. Yes. Hi, Sammy. Welcome in. We would also like to... I'd like to beat this man up. Whew.
Okay. Okay. No, we don't care about that. We care about him moving the body. Because I think I know exactly how you move the body. I think I want to post that. I feel like I need to post his body because it wasn't hurt by the fire, but I also feel like I need to do this. Actually, I do believe there was a way to transport the body of the theater. Perhaps you should give this a look. What is that supposed to be? It's footage from a security camera that captured the state of the immigration area. Shall I congratulate you on getting your hands on it? Just letting you know that we're not the only ones watching your every movement. Humph. Thank you for the warning. Now, if you could take a good look at this section here. This lump here inside the pushcart, do you know what's causing it? Should I? Because I don't. Come. In that case, allow me to enlighten you.
We hydrate as chat demands.
Body break.
Oh yeah. And a big stretch. Big stretch. Oh, and for body break, skull crushers. We love skull crushers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we did it. Okay. Back to it.
This is the cause of the unnatural lump underneath the pushcart.
Take that!
What is the meaning of showing me that? It's to say that the unnatural bulge on this pushcart in Mr. Cochin's body.
Sorry, I can't. I'm trying to be serious. I'm so sorry, chat. Woo. Notice this international incident. Stop! I can't! Can't be done. Would you look at the time? I would.
You had the Steel Samurai wheel his body away from the real crime scene. What a guess. But I wonder if you have any evidence to support it. I admit that for now it is but a hypothesis, however. If you can't prove it, then I'm afraid I must be on my way. I don't have any more time to play with you people.
Sorry I took so long, Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Gummy?
Detective Gumshoe, is that the Steel Samurai's pushcart?
Yes, sir! I found it in the open-air stage area.
So that's where you went.
The detective spirit that Pops left me with. I thought I'd follow my gut and go with it, sir. So, Mr. Edgeworth, is this worth anything to the case?
Yes, it just might play a major role in solving this case, Detective. But something isn't right. I thought that the entire samurai family was in Alabast. Where exactly in the open-air stage area did you find this pushcart?
I found it just lying there at the edge of the stage, sir.
Oh? Well, let's leave that for now and examine the inside, Detective.
Yes, sir. Oh, no, guys. I think that might be blood. It's blood.
This must be Mr. Cochin's blood, which only goes to prove that Mr. Cochin's body was indeed transported by this pushcart. I believe you understand what this means, correct? You killed Mr. Cochin at this theater, and then placed his body inside this pushcart. And then you forced the Steel Samurai to unwittingly move the body for you.
I forced him to move the body into Alabast. What nonsense! Why would I bother to do such a thing?
You were scheduled to make a speech in Alabast, meaning it was difficult for you to make a stop in Babal. However, what if you moved the body to Alabast? Because it was your embassy, you could keep an eye on it and tamper with the evidence. And then you smuggled it out of Alabast.
No!
If I can show how you moved the body from Alabast to Babal, then I win.
But you can't! The security between the two countries is incredibly tight.
I'll be the one to judge whether I can or cannot prove it. And so I ask you to provide us with Testimony regarding your movements after your return to Alabast.
Miles Edgeworth, have you figured it out? Do you know how this body was moved?
To be honest, I have nothing to support my hypothesis at this time. However, I don't believe I've made a mistake in my logic up to this point. Which means...
There's no question that cannot be answered, right?
The Prima Duck statue was smuggled successfully through a brief flight through the air. So why shouldn't there be an answer as to how the body was moved? Which means that there must be a logical flaw somewhere that I can exploit.
All right, chat. We'll come back to this next time. We are, in fact, very close to the end. But we will come back to this next time. Because it is that time again. It is time to go on a little adventure. Hi, Keelan! We're off to adventure. Yes. Yes, I will be along later. Don't worry. We are off to adventure. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Where will we go? Where will we go tonight? What shall we do today? Da, 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 da. Oh, I know. Let's go see. Oh, but Cuphead. You guys would like Cuphead, I think. We'll go see Laugh play some Cuphead. Oh yes, right, of course, I gotta do the thing. It's now closing time and we hope you enjoyed your visit to the octopus enclosure. Alright. That is it for tonight, everybody. I will see you all next time, tomorrow, in fact, for whatever we play tomorrow. Oh yeah, right, Final Fantasy VI. Alright, it's time to go, everybody. Thank you all for playing along with me.